And welcome to another edition of Duck Snow Sports. This week, it's my my eighth installment of my NFL previews as I finally get to the NFC West, hands down the best division in all of the NFL. I mean, you got four teams who have who could seriously go to the playoffs, and let's get started with the St. Louis Rams. Biggest question of the year, can the St. Louis Rams take the next step? The St. Louis Rams are building something. I really like St. Louis Rams. Jeff Fisher is a really good coach, but they took a big blow last weekend as Sam Bradford, their franchise quarterback, course going down again. And the biggest question has to be, is it time to move on from Sam Bradford if you're the St. Louis Rams? Think about year after year, he always seems to get hurt. He's had knee problems since his days in college when he was with Oklahoma. And I think after a while, if you're a St. Louis Rams, Sam Bradford's a really good QB, really good. But maybe, just maybe, it's time to move on. But let's talk about the other stories around the St. Louis Rams. Of course, they drafted Michael Sam in the 7th round. Of course, Michael Sam, the first open gay athlete in the NFL, and this has really turned to a big sideshow for the St. Louis Rams, which they really have to start nipping the butt. I mean, all through the offseason and all through training camp, all you've heard about Michael Sam, of course, a 7th round pick. Can he make the team? And let's be honest, the guy is undersized as a defensive lineman. 7th round pick. He's got cut city written all over him, and it's really turned a big distraction. And they're really painting themselves in the corner because if they cut him, then they're dicks. But it'll be interesting because, I haven't seen much of St. Louis Rams in the preseason, but it'll be interesting if this kid does make the team. I hope he makes the team because I hope one day we can just move on from this open gay athlete. Who really cares? That's what I say. That's my opinion on who really cares. But back to the St. Louis Rams, I really think the St. Louis Rams had a chance to make some noise, but when Sam Bradford goes down, don't really got any good backup QBs. And unfortunately, I think the St. Louis Rams for another year will be closer to the bottom of the West than to the top of the West. So I think the St. Louis Rams are in for a tough 2014. Moving on to the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals are a really good team. Carson Palmer had a really good season last year. You still have Larry Fitzgerald, still one of the best receivers, in my opinion, in the NFL. Maybe not the best, but still one of the best. A really good defense. They can run the football, and they're in any other division in football, I would say that this team would have a shot at a division title. But you're in the NFC West. You still got the 49ers, the Seahawks to deal with, and I really believe the Arizona Cardinals could make some noise this year if they can just squeeze out a few wins in Seattle, against San Fran, against St. Louis Rams. Maybe they have a shot, but it's going to be uphill sledding all year because you're in the toughest division. And they're not a bad team. Like I said, they're not a horrible team. But Arizona Cardinals, good team, but just wrong place, wrong division. Can they make it playoffs? I think they can make the playoffs. I really believe they are a good team, and I think they're a bubble team. I think they're on the cusp of being a playoff team. But I just think in the division they play in, the tough schedule they gotta go to, I just think the Arizona Cardinals are in for a rough season, and I do not think the Cardinals are a playoff team this year. But bubble team, but not a playoff team. Okay, moving. Oh, no, this is where it gets good. Moving on to our next team, the San Francisco 49ers. What do you say about San Fran? Of course, going to Super Bowl two years ago, gone to 3 straight NFC Championship games. The 49ers are really building something special right there. And the biggest question is, can they take the next step? Can they go back to the Super Bowl? Can Kaepernick become more consistent? Like I said, Kaepernick's a really good quarterback. I really like Kaepernick. He really started this, not started, but he's really helped the trend of the dual quarterback guy who beat you with his legs and his arm. Really good. But for him to get better and become more a consistent player, he needs to get more accurate. He needs to start throwing down the field a lot more. And I really like Kaepernick. I really think he will take the 49ers to a Super Bowl again. I truly believe that. I really think he's their engine. If he's having an off game, the 49ers have an off game. So I really believe if Kaepernick can just take the next step, come a little more consistent, come a little more accurate, I really believe Kaepernick can take the next step. And let's face it, the San Francisco 49ers are loaded. They got arguably the best defense in the league. They can run the football with Frank Gore. They got weapons galore. The time is now for the San Francisco 49ers. Can they win a Super Bowl this year? I think they can. The 49ers are really that good of a team. And the biggest question is, can they win a Super Bowl? How good will Colin Kaepernick be? Time will tell, but I really, 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 really like the San Francisco 49ers this year. And finally, my last preview in my last blog is about the Seattle Seahawks, the defending champions. What a fitting way to go out. And the biggest question going in, can the Seattle Seahawks repeat? Let's be honest, last year, nobody gave Seattle any respect through a season, even though they were like 13-3 still. Nobody thought they were for real. Even when they got to the Super Bowl, all you heard all week, Super Bowl week, was how much the Broncos were going to win, how much the Broncos were going to win by. They just count them out. And man, they had a huge chip on their shoulder all year round just to prove haters wrong. And man, they are really good. Well, they won the Super Bowl for a reason. And let's face it, that Super Bowl against the Broncos wasn't even close. I mean, I talk about San Francisco has a good defense. Well, Seattle is right there with them too, because Seattle has a great. Maybe I said San Fran is one of the best. Well, I think Seattle has the best defense in the league. Russell Wilson does not get his due, but Russell Wilson, in my opinion, is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL right now. What that guy can do, the clutch, man, just Mr. Clutch. Anytime they're down, I'm confident enough that this guy can bring them back. And man, they can run the ball with Marshawn Lynch, beast mode, and they got the weapons outside. The Seattle Seahawks are loaded. And they're a pretty young football team. Like, they could go on a little run and maybe win a few Super Bowls here. Maybe 3 out of 4 or something like that. And I really like the Seattle Seahawks this year. They got it all. And this division really comes down to 2 teams this year. Let's face it, it's Seattle or San Fran. And let's face it, they'll probably meet again in the playoffs, probably in the NFC Championship game. Love watching San Fran and Seattle games. They are the new Steelers-Raven games. Like, they're just intensity, hard-hitting. Love those games. And I think the Seattle Seahawks have a good chance to repeat as Super Bowl champions this year. But how will the West break down? Well, at number 4, I got the St. Louis Rams. Unfortunately, I don't think the Rams, with that blow from Bradford, can come back. Cardinals coming in number 3. Like I said, good team, but wrong division. Number 2, I got the San Francisco 49ers. And number 1, I got the Seattle Seahawks, but really that can go either way. I really think these 2 teams are a lock to make the playoffs. And yeah, that is my NFC West preview. My next NFL preview, I will preview basically the season. I'm going to give you my MVP, my Rookie of the Year, my Coach of the Year, what I think would be the most improved player, and my playoff teams, and of course, my Super Bowl champion. But till next time, I'm Dux, and I know sports. Kind of.